learned colleagues, research scholars, teachers from other institutions, and my young friends. The second day, we're going to have another session, and I feel personally you all will have a very good time. The so-called pandemic. Apart from these, we'll have a very good academics. At the outset, I extend my heartiest greetings to all my teacher colleagues. I wish them a very, very happy Teachers' Day. And I, however, also have a request to all my most respected intellects to switch off their microphone as well as to keep the camera off. Now I hand over to my colleague, Dr. Vanitha, to take over. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, all. I'm really happy to meet you again on this Teachers' Day with a happy Teachers' Day note. I welcome you back for the 2-day webinar on diverse panorama in literature. And with a warm and special welcome to the resource person of the day, Dr. K.T. Tamilmani, I take the privilege of introducing him to the audience. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Dr. K.T. Tamilmani has put in 26 years of experience in teaching profession, wherein he has held notable positions and taken up responsibilities like Chairman of Board of Studies, Member Secretary of the Academic Council, Dean Academic Affairs, and at present the head of the department too. His contribution to NAC is remarkable. It is to be mentioned that he is sanctioned with UGC Teacher Fellowship for pursuing doctoral research under FIP. He has also got sponsors from UGC for his minor research project. He has guided 8 MPhil and 2 PhD scholars so far. And to cut the long story short, with the permission of the research person, because it runs to pages, so he has edited 6 books and he has many publications to his credit. Adding a feather to his cap is that he has delivered 93 invited talks and addressed almost in around 10 webinars. Besides, he has organized many conferences and online quiz programs too. Sir is a member of various academic bodies and as an associate officer in National Cadet Corps, he has organized numerous student center awareness programs. As Socrates says, I cannot teach anybody anything, I can only make them think. Sir, we are sure that listening to such an erudite personality would definitely whet our thoughts. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation. Welcome you, sir, and the floor is all yours. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for all the nice words that you have spoken. At the outset, I'd like to thank Professor Ilamaran for this wonderful opportunity. And I would like to thank all the participants friends here and my senior colleague, Professor Rafiq from Jamal Muhammad College, who joined us with today, and he is with us now. First of all, I'd like to request all the participants to pin my screen. Pin my screen. Sorry, I'm unable to present my screen. I'll do it again. Hope the participants can see my screen now. If you can see, please pin the screen in your mobile device or in your laptop so that whatever I would like to put across will be visible to you and it will be clear to you. I hope you are able to see my screen and you have pinned my screen. Please respond to me in the chat box so that I can proceed. Okay, I could get one or two responses. Thank you. Thank you. If you are unable to see the screen, just stop me and text me in the chat box so that I can represent it. I feel so happy to be here with you. Around there are 60 participants right now, and many are going to join with us. I'd like to thank the college management, PSG College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore, the principal, and Professor Ilamaran, Head of Department of English, for this virtual platform to share my experiences as a teacher of English. When Professor Ilamaran called me a fortnight ago, he told me that it is going to be a national level webinar, and he made it today, and we made it for 2 days. I feel happy that I am a privileged teacher to be a part of this webinar. The title that he has given me impressed me a lot. The title goes like this: Diverse Panorama in Literature. Definitely. I feel very happy that I am a student of literature, I am a teacher of literature. And that is what I am going to present today here in my presentation. Before I go to the presentation, I would like to wish all the teachers here a very happy and wonderful Happy Teachers Day. I always feel that I'm a blessed human being. I'm blessed because of I'm a teacher. I have been chosen by God to become a teacher. Because teachers always engage themselves in the act of optimism. We believe that things are possible in our reach and through our efforts, and we can do wonders. My dear fellow teachers, feel happy, feel blessed that you are a teacher. Happy Teachers Day. I go to my presentation. The title which I have chosen is New Directions in English Studies. New directions. There are already trodden paths. There are ways which are taken already. Still, there are new directions which are not taken by anybody and which are there. You, the young teachers, the young scholars, the young students who join with me today can think about these new directions for your English studies, for your research at PhD level. Let me go to the objectives of my presentation. Just 2 objectives in my mind. Just 2 objectives. I would like to throw light on the panorama of English studies. Panorama. I'm indebted to Professor Ilamaran for this word. Panorama. What is panorama? A complete picture, a wide range, a complete survey, or as he rightly said, vista. Literature provides us a complete picture of the world. So first objective is to focus on the panoramic view of the world provided by English studies. The second one is to sensitize the young minds here. There are students, there are young teachers, and there are scholars. The young minds here, I would like to instill in your mind. You can think about and you can pursue your research, your studies in these new directions. They are very appealing, they are very interesting, and they are very useful to the humanity. Let me go with the presentation. These are the 2 objectives. For about 20 to 25 minutes, my concentration will be on the first objective. The remaining half, I will focus myself on the second objective. Our discipline belongs to humanities. What is humanities? What are we doing here? Humanities speaks about how people process and document human experiences. What are the humanities? What are the disciplines which come under humanities? History, political science, English, economics, and our mother tongue, Tamil. What do they do here? Humanities is a broad academic field. And what do we do here, and what do our students do here? Our students study various types of human interactions. We make use of different methods. The methods are largely analytical, critical, exploratory, formalistic, comparative. Humanities should be given the prime most importance. Unfortunately, in every college, especially in engineering colleges, humanities are sidelined. I wish that there should be a revival to humanities. Who else can bring that revival? You and me. The teaching fraternity here, the senior faculty member, Professor Ilamaran and Professor Rafiq, and all other senior members here, you should take the lead. Humanities should be given importance, should be at the forefront. You and me are the custodians of all the evils in the society. If humanities is taken care of well, then there will be lesser crime rate. This is not a tall climb. From humanities, we move on to humanism. This very word, this very idea, humanism, is calling for a redefinition. People don't understand it properly. I take you to the Renaissance period. Humanism is a system of education, a mode of inquiry. It started during the 13th and 14th centuries, and now it is thriving on. It is thriving on. I purposely use the word thriving on because there are a lot of inhuman activities around. There are a lot of inhuman things around. Who is responsible? Who is to blame? We, ourselves, we have to be blamed. Humanism should be understood properly. First by us and then by our students. Then the society will be set right. Slowly I move on to humanities. The word comes from humanitas. Humanitas means development of human virtue. Human virtue to the full extent. What is humanity? Humanity means understanding. Humanity means benevolence. Humanity means compassion. Humanity means mercy. Not only that, all other assertive characteristics, fortitude, judgment, prudence, eloquence, and love of honor, much more. It is a kind of all-comprehensive term, humanities, an umbrella term. Humanism should be here, and humanities should flourish. This is our credo, the teachers of English credo. Unfortunately, humanism, when it was introduced in the 13th century and 14th century in Europe, in England, it was with all good and positive thought it was introduced and it was practiced. Slowly, within this span of 800 years, humanism started believing in giving a kind of uniqueness, exceptional status to mankind. Slowly, human beings grabbed a kind of supremacy. He started ruling everybody. I hope you are able to see it in the picture. Once some 10,000 years ago, there was only 1% of human beings. 99% of animals. Look at now. Now we have become around 32%, and animals have become 1%, and livestock they have gone to the level of 67%. This is the kind of domination that we are making over the earth. This is how the humanism is at stake. We don't worry about our own fellow human beings. We don't worry about all the living beings in the world. We are slowly occupying the entire globe. We feel that it is made for us. It is not so. It is made for all the creatures of the world. So slowly there is a kind of deviation. The humanist worldview positions humans at the center of the moral world. He started behaving like the leader, the controller, the manager of the entire universe. Still, the belief holds good. This is how we proceed. Look at this. Humanism and humanists, they cultivated a kind of rhetoric. Through that medium, the practitioners of humanism believed that virtues could be communicated and virtues could be fulfilled. So there was a kind of special rhetoric, it evolved, and one of the modes was literature. What is literature? I request the colleagues here who joined with me, please respond to me. All our students of literature, teachers of literature, scholars of literature, please respond to me. What is literature? You can type it in the chat box. One or two responses, please. Please switch off your microphone. Just one or two words. I don't ask for a descriptive kind of answer. What is literature? Literature is life, good. Reflection of life, good. Mirror of life, good. Literature is the study of life, mirror of life, good. More than that. Literature mirrors a society. Dr. Akbar Ali, good. So in every reply, I repeatedly see the word life. Very good. Literature mirrors the society. Very good. Look at here. What is literature? Literature adds to reality. It not only describes the society, it not only describes the reality, it adds to reality. Certain things which are not happening in the past are happening now because of literature. Literature is whatever we interpret. Very good, man. Reflection of what is the human behavior. Okay, good. Literature contributes to change society. Good. It enriches the competencies that everyday life requires and provides. We are guided by the past masters. Think of our own the classical book Tirukkural, which is abound in lofty thoughts, great ideas. It guides us. All the maxims were guiding principles. There is no doubt about it. Definitely, literature serves as a kind of source. It irrigates the deserts that our lives have already become. Only because of literature. Literature is a footprint to lead a life. Very good. That is what I am saying here. Sairam Janani. Literature irrigates the deserts that our lives have already become. I could finally say literature adds life to living. Only because of good literature so far produced or having been produced right now, life is so meaningful. Our life is so colorful. Our life is worth living. There is no denial. Literature adds life to living. Let me proceed. What is happening right now? Can you please respond to me, the participants? How much of time you and me devote to read every day? How much time? Feel free. Feel free. You can say 1 hour or 2 hours. Participants, I request you to respond to me in the chat box. What is your reading habit? Since you are a student of literature, what is your reading? How much time that you spend for reading every day? Please. I look at the chat box for your responses. Come out with your responses, please. This is the weekend, and I know this is afternoon time. Please respond to me. Let us be very active. Deepika, thank you very much for the first response. Minimum 2 hours per day. Good. Lakshmi, good. Surabhi, 5 hours. Excellent. Excellent. You are going to be, the number one person who is good in reading. Very good. 5 hours. 3 hours of reading. Good. Good. If you could do at least 1 hour of reading, like to read whatever I'm interested. Yes, that's definitely whatever is interesting to us only will be read by us. Definitely 1 hour a day, very good. Sangeeta Veni, very good. 1 hour a day is minimum requirement. If you could do for 3 to 5 hours, good. If you go beyond 3 hours or 5 hours, then exceptional, good. Good, you are feeding the mind. You are shaping yourself. Definitely. Definitely, you will be a better human being. You will be a better problem solver. You will be a critical thinker. You will be a creative thinker. You are wanted. You are wanted. You are going to be a kind of a prodigy, adult prodigy. Because books and newspapers and journals have taken a backseat in this electronic age. I hope you cannot deny that. We buy books. We buy books in most of our houses. There were libraries in those days. Now only a very few houses have a library. We rely on e-books. Most of our e-books are stored in our Kindle. Generally, you look for a document, PDF type of document. You'd like to save that in your pen drive. Reading of books, even reading of newspapers, journals, is on the declining level. It is deteriorating. When there are no readers, there may not be good literature. Literature production will be very less. Fortunately, there are writers around. There are writers around to take care of us, to take care of our own thinking, to shape our thinking. It's happening. But slowly, the reading habit is dying. In a country like America, where the reading habit is the primary habit of the majority of the Americans, right now, the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal, they are very struggling to compete with the alternate media called internet. Internet has taken over everything. These papers, these magazines were struggling. The number of copies sold were very, very less at present because of the cybernetic reading. I could ask you to respond to me. How much of screen time that you are using now? How much of screen time that you are spending? Please respond to me. You Answer B, from 1 hour to 5 hours of reading. Okay. How much of screen time that you are spending? 4 hours, 2 hours. Okay. Please proceed. All the other participants, let us be very active. Definitely, I'm here to show you the new directions which are happening. 6 hours, more than reading time, more than book reading time. Definitely, Nagalakshmi, you're right. Please, my colleagues here, teachers and scholars, please respond to me. How much of screen time that you are taking every day, spending every day? Please, one or two more responses I need. The remaining participants. How much of time, screen time that you are, 4 hours, I couldn't read your name. Okay, 4 hours, definitely. 4 hours, if it is online learning or online teaching, minimum of 4 to 5 hours. For a person like me, it is at least 6 to 7 hours of screen time. This has become my routine right from March 17th. From April onwards, April 2020 onwards, the number of hours of screen time has increased for me. Is it good, this cybernetic reading, that always watching that electronic eye? Is it good for my health? No. Is it good for me to process information in my brain? No, definitely no. Because it is displaying, it is displacing the linear, closed, solitary reading. No, it is not allowing me to read as I read with a textbook, the printed copy of textbook. The whole process of reading something and enjoying something is undergoing a transformation because of this electronic gadget, this cybernetic reading. What are we doing now? Cybernetic reading. What am I doing now? Screen-based presentation. This screen-based presentation has become the new normal. If a teacher is making a presentation, means there must be some kind of showing in the screen, screen-based teaching. Otherwise, the students will not allow us to teach. Definitely, there will be a call for me. Sir, your screen is not visible. You are not visible. Your slides are not visible. Just stop presenting. I have to do it again. This hampers our own reading. This hampers our own mental processes. So what is the result? People, mostly kids and adults, they have encountered or they have been suffering from short attention span. Again, I come back to you, the colleagues here. What is the average attention span of a human being? How much time you can devote to a particular thing attentively? What is the average attention span of a human being? Please respond to me. Participants, definitely till 4:15, I will be requesting you to respond to me till 4:15 repeatedly. Bear with me. But that will be good for us. 1 hour attention span. Actually, 50 to 60 minutes. Okay. I hope you all mean about the classroom experience. 10 minutes. My scholar father, Susai Devan, said 10 minutes. Very good. Even below 10 minutes is an acceptable answer. 7 to 15 minutes. Sangeeta Vini. Very good, ma'am. 7 to 15. Even below 7 minutes is an acceptable answer. 40 minutes of concentration, attention span is very rare. You'll be appalled. You'll be shocked. Mahalakshmi Devan, very good. Very good, ma'am. Below 5 minutes, Akbar Ali sir. Below 6 minutes. In a span of 60 minutes, we can for 24 minutes. Yes, sir, Professor Ilamaran sir. Muhuntaraj. Okay. Okay. I will give you the answer. There was a study in 2013, and the study says very shocking information, and it is true also. Before we go to that study, let us have a look at long drawn sentences are very confusing for our learners. I got 2 cents. They are suffering from this short attention span. They're unable to read a long winding sentence. If the paragraph has more than 4 or 5 sentences, they say that we have to split it. This writer is bad. This writer is unable to write a paragraph even. Think about Thomas Hardy. Think about Charles Dickens. Think about their long descriptions, which will be incomprehensible to this younger generation. I'm not blaming anybody. We were very fortunate to have born in 70s and 60s. The digital natives here. They think that they are all empowered by the digital technology. So my standpoint is have they been empowered or have they been crippled? Teachers who were born in 60s and 70s were able to read for hours, 4 hours, 5 hours of continuous reading. When they read, automatically there is a kind of mental process which is happening in the brain. A kind of picturization, a kind of visualization, a kind of correlation which was happening. Right now, people are suffering from short attention span, as well as this processing of information has gone. Look at this, you'll be shocked. In 2013, there was a study. The study says that human beings are suffering from short attention span. They have only 8 seconds of concentration. 8 seconds. Whereas a very small fish, it has an average of 9 seconds. So, where is your supremacy, human beings? Oh, thoughtless mortals. I bring in Alexander Pope here. You feel that you are a superior being with a less attention span. You were the master once. Think about our own Aristotle, he is masters of 12 disciplines. Right now, to get a master degree and mastery in a subject is a Herculean task. We have got MPhil. Suppose if you ask me to define philosophy in a reasonable way, I may not be able to do that. But I have got a master of philosophy. The very word philosophy cannot be explained by a few people. What is happening right now? So who can separate all these things? People from humanities, people from literature. You can do that, you are the custodian. How can we do that? Let us explore. So there were uncountable changes so far in literature. So literature has flourished very richly. But in the cybernetics literature, it has become an art form and it is being redefined. It is being redefined by the younger generation. The younger generation, they started liking a type of fiction, very popular fiction, bestseller. We started celebrating people like Chetan Bhagat. I don't find fault. The present age reading habit, the present age readers welcome it, like it. We should feel happy that the reading is staying and the reading is continuing. But the younger generation, the younger population decides. They are around 52% in our country, the younger population. 52%. You may not believe me, my dear young students and scholars here. In 2030, in another 10 years, there will be a lot of graduates from India. All are young graduates. They will be around, they will be everywhere in the world. And Indian education will be in high esteem. There is going to be, it is a kind of prediction. To make it a qualitative one, you and me should roll up our sleeves to do something. There are many modern tools. The modern tools, as I told you, Kindle version of your book, the gadget that you use it for reading. Most of you are mobile readers now. You don't read a printed book. So it makes a kind of demarcation, kind of division among the reading people, haves and have-nots. Mostly you tend to interact, you tend to communicate through SMS. It was parodied in a movie by Yogi Babu and a fellow character. They were traveling in a van, and this young boy was texting to Yogi Babu some message. Yogi Babu will be asking the young boy, if we are together, you can tell me. The young boy will tell Yogi Babu, no, this is fashion. What is fashion? Sending SMS to a person who is sitting near you or next to you. SMS. What is the purpose of inventing a telephone? To speak. Do we speak now? No. No. Now there are stories in our magazines, Ananda Vigadan or any popular magazine, either in Tamil or in English. There are stories which can be presented in 140 characters, or I don't mean 140 words, 140 characters, including space. It's happening now. Okay. What is life from the point of view of literature? What is life? Can you please respond to me? What is life? Just a while ago, you answered me. Literature is mirror of life. Literature is presenting life. Okay. Now, what is life? Please. I need your responses, please. I know you are all very good in texting. Very good in texting. We are not actually very good in texting. You are all good in texting. Please text me. Celebration. Very good. Very good, Miss Gayatri Maunasamy. Celebration. Very good. Life should be celebrated. Definitely. Any other response, please? What is life? Life is like searching to find oneself. Life is different from different. It can be classified as any particular thing. Very good. A chance to make the world better. Amalgamation of reality and illusions. Good. Very good. Life is a learning experience. Life is like a game. Very good. I hope Ms. Deepika is a cricket player or somebody. Suppose I ask A.R. Rahman, what is life? For A.R. Rahman, music is my life. If you ask me, teaching is my life. Definitely. Every now and the way we live, the way life is full of ups and downs. Very good. Very good. Finer observation. Very realistic observation. Ups and downs. When you are up, feel happy. When you are down, don't feel unhappy. Accept it. What is life? Romanticism says here. Life is what you make of it. Life is what you make of it. Realism says life is what it is. Ups and downs. Life is full of learning. Gayatri Das Gayatri. Naturalism says life sucks and then you die. There are many isms, there are many movements we have seen in literature. All the movements, all the isms, they teach us about life. A segment of life. Suppose I ask you the simple question, have you understood life? Can you say yes? Have you understood life? What is life? Can you define? As somebody answered me, it differs. It differs. If you ask my son, an adolescent boy, what is life? He will say, Free Fire is my life. PUBG is my life. So can you live without food? He will say yes. Leave me with your phone. I will be there for 1 day or 2 days without even moving from a place. For them, it is life. It's a good orientation. Life is a comedy for those who think and tragedy for those who feel. Very good, sir. Fine observation. Definitely, sir. Now, life coming twice removed from reality. Sairam Janani. Very good. Excellent. We are living in a postmodern world, Sairam Janani. Definitely. Your observation is very fine. It is a mystery cannot be understood. Mandusha Ravikumar. Good. Very good observation. I feel happy that in PSG, literature teaching is very seriously done. That is why I put such a kind of creative and critical responses. The credit goes to Professor Ilamaran, Professor Vanida, and all others, Mr. Alanchami there. Many friends are there. Definitely. Let us touch upon whenever there is a presentation on literature from the word postmodernism or deconstruction. Postmodernism, after the Second World War, postmodernism and deconstructionism, they exerted a tremendous influence on literature. The very business of literature has been changed by postmodernism and deconstruction. So a major change to come out of the farmer movement because of postmodernism, there was a change in discourse. There was a change in discourse. What was the change? Look at this. Earlier, the notion of the authority, the text was primary. After advent of postmodernism, there was a kind of emphasis on hybridity. After hybridity, after the emphasis was on the reader, it became words have inherent meaning. That very idea was shaken. Words have inherent meaning. For example, now, whenever you make a call to somebody, some pre-recorded voice is coming. Ningal நோயுடன் போராட வேண்டும் நோயாளியுடன் அல்ல. What is the meaning of it? What is the meaning of it? Do you think that it has a stable meaning? You think that it has a stable meaning? Please respond to me. நோயுடன் போராட வேண்டும் நோயாளியுடன் அல்ல. How can I fight with the disease? The whole world is unable to fight with it, unable to eradicate it, unable to find a remedy for it. Words have inherent meaning. That very idea is shaken. That very notion is eliminated after stability is certainly an illusion. Gujan Chaturvedi, good. Stability, definitely it is an illusion. There is no stability. There is no stableness. We should have a civic attitude. Good, sir. Good, sir. After all, they are all our fellow human beings, our own family. Brother, I agree with you, Professor Lamaran, sir. Definitely. But the very words which are used by our media, our own people, our own government, sometimes irks us, irritates us. Doesn't have any meaning at all. We entertain a kind of thought like that. So the meaning is left to the reader's interpretation. It all depends on who reads it, who is the listener. So there is the idea from Roland Barthes, death of the author. Is born. The reader is born. Every text which is produced after the Second World War, say about the 1960s and 70s, lot of gaps, lot of ellipses, lot of omissions. Very purposely intended, very purposely written like that. That makes it more and more readerly than writerly. Definitely, if you call that media's influence, negative impact, they are all around. My dear young teachers here, Mr. Chandrasudan, who are there in the media? Who are the people in TV? Who are the people in Pointer News? Most of the youngsters who've gone out of our own campuses, from Loyola College or PSG or Nehru Memorial College, these youngsters, have they been oriented to be ethically correct? Have they been oriented to be providing or projecting a good standard, ethical standard, while they are going to do job in the media, they have been told. Then why do they bypass? Why do they give up? What is happening? Who is influencing them? So these are the questions we should ask. So readers, you contribute a lot, and then you have a role to play, and you are a creative agent there. Definitely, we all know these differences. Especially, we must know that the postmodern literature is open-ended. It is full of ambivalences, and it is metafictional. It uses apparently simple language. Apparently simple language. You are in the meaning-making process, and you, as a reader, can contribute to the text. You are a kind of semi-author. So in postmodernism, there is no stabilized or centralized or clear-cut meaning. If meaning exists, then it lies in the community of believers. To put it in a very simple way, all truth is relative. All truth is relative. It is from my point of view, one meaning. From your point of view, another meaning. This has been very humorously shown in a movie. In a movie acted by Vadivelu. He will enter into an argument with the bus conductor. Again, after giving a slap to Vadivelu, the conductor will ask him to now read. So such kind of humorous interaction come out because of the postmodern type of living. All truth is relative. It is interpretative. It is bound to change. So now, this is the epoch of or era of Twitter. People started writing Twitter fictions or microfiction. Definitely, sir. But nobody would like to go to police station. Everybody feels somewhat not okay after Sathangulam incident. Sorry, sir. Ilamaran, sir. Kavalthurai ungal nanban. But after Sathangulam incident, people, 3 words. Kavalthurai ungal nanban. So, as an expression of postmodern literature, so brevity and multiple meanings and intertextual ties are there. As a reader, as a student of literature, we always look for the intertextual underpinning. And now this is the age of blogging, twittering, microblogging. Can you imagine? There is a new thing, 6-word novels. It is a new trend. It's a new direction, 6-word novel. A senior teacher like Rosie Lamaran will be angry with me. This is happening right now. 6-word novel. Look at this. We'll have an example. 6-word novel. After she died, he came alive. What is your response? It is written by Rebecca James. There is another Marcy. Right, another writer, Marcy. Look at the beautiful 6-word novel. 1 gun, 2 shots, 3 dead. Can you imagine? If you go and tell Mr. Charles Dickens, definitely, Dickens, he will be definitely turning in his grave. No, these fellows have gone mad. Mr. Dickens will be very angry. But these are happening right now. People started tweeting. Twitter fiction is gaining momentum. People read, that's why people write. So, for some literary purists, definitely this kind of practice, this kind of new thing, it is degrading the classics, copying, parodying, and grammar is lost. There is no grammar. A lot of new words are created in an unacceptable way. That is a very serious thing. writer like Toni Morrison comes out with new words and he justifies it. But in Twitter fiction, in blogging, they make spelling mistakes and they call it a new word. Unacceptable. Intolerable. I could say, as a teacher of English, incorrigible. So literary purists will definitely say, and they are very unhappy about the internet slang. They will condemn it. This is the abuse of language. This is the abuse of literary pursuits. Definitely, I am with you. I am with you, literary purists who are watching me over. Okay, now I have come to the main part of my presentation, the new directions. What are the new directions you think which are happening right now? Can you please just type one or two new directions in English studies? Please. I request the participants to respond to me. I know you are all very active. You are all very active and you are all very keenly watching me. Please respond to me. I need your responses. What are all the new directions which are happening in English studies, in our postgraduate programs, in MPhil level, in PhD level? Very good. Environmental humanities, good. Three-language system. You are talking about the methodology teaching, good. Okay, proceed. Say about literary pursuits, as well as ELT. That is why the title is chosen as New Directions in English Studies. Please, I need your responses. Quest studies, very good, Ms. Deepika, very good. Quest studies, very good. Cultural studies, very good. Psychological perspective, though it is also happening right now, good. Cognitive studies and development, very good. Propostry, very good. Comparative aesthetics and comparative cultural studies. Pragmatism, good. Pragmatism, good. Okay. Okay, spiritual studies, eco-criticism, mental cognition, very good, Professor Ilmaran sir. So these are all the things, LGBT, very good, sir. Jayantakar Sharma, very good. These are all the things, spatial studies, eco-criticism, these are all the things I am not going to touch upon. These are all the things I am not going to touch upon. Diaspora, I am not going to speak. Okay. That is why I told you new directions. Okay. Let me go to that. Quest studies, Kunjan Chadavedi, good. So let me speak about multidisciplinary studies, Dr. Vanita Miss, good. So these are the things that I'm going to focus on. Post-humanism. Post-humanism. Interdisciplinary studies, very good, Lakshmi. Then flash fiction. Disability studies. Anthropocene fiction. Digital humanities. These are all the 5 things for about another 30 to 40 minutes. Sorry, I am overlapping, I am exceeding my time. 30 to 40 minutes, I'll be focusing myself on this. Post-humanism. What is post-humanism? Post-humanism is an umbrella term. It is inclusive of Anthropocene. We all know that we live in a world called anthropocentric world. Anthropocentric. Anthropo, human beings. Anthro, people, human beings. People-centered world. Anthropocene, people-dominated age. So post-human studies in literature, post-human studies in society, it includes artificial intelligence, AI, popularly known as, and deconstruction of the human. Rethinking of humanity, very good. Let me go with the presentation. Post-humanism. It came up in the year 1990, and there are 2 types. There are 2 types of post-humanists. These 2 types of post-humanists, they talk about other things. The other things include transhumanism. What is transhumanism? In transhumanism, human beings will be radically altered by implants, biohacking, cognitive enhancement. So there will be implant. Now in the West, people have started implanting in them a biochip. It was experimented in one of the movies acted by J.M. Ravi. A chip was inserted in his body by the villain of the movie, Arvind Sami. I very often quote examples from film because film is an extended form of literature. It is an extended form, very sophisticated, modern, appealing form of literature. That's why. It's a habit of mine in my classroom. That is why I get so many examples from cinema. So in a way, in the post-human situation, this transhumanism is taking place. Biomedical technology is playing a major role. It is playing not a major role, it is playing a havoc. So there is a kind of warning. These enhancements, these transformations will lead us to evolve into a human species that is completely unrecognizable what we are now. It is going to happen in another 10 to 20 years. You and me are very good chance, apocalypse kind of thing. New being. Look for more. An engineer in Google, Ray Kurzweil, he makes a kind of statement, a prophetic statement. Human history has been figuring completely new ways of being. Mere mortals like us cannot be comprehend. There will be kind of things which a mere mortal cannot understand. He makes a statement like this. There is another post-humanist, Donna Haraway, but she is very sensible in her argument. She argues fusing of humans and technology will not be physically enhanced humanity. Human beings will become more of a machine than a human being. Donna Haraway is claiming that there should be interconnectedness. Definitely, there will be interconnectedness. She argues that beings are going to be called cyborgs, cyber organisms. Cyborgs, change assemblages of humans and machine. It is happening. It is happening. And in this post-human scenario, the post-human text and the post-human text writers, they should tell us, they should guide us. What they should tell us and teach us to imagine or comprehend that how text will be, how will the human interaction with the documents will change in another 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. This screen-based reading may go away, may vanish. It is going to happen. Then what will happen? How can text encourage mental expansion? These kind of things are debatable points in post-humanism, and they are happening right now. There are many post-human writers, and post-human rhetoric has come up. You can think about taking up a study in post-human fiction. One of my scholars who is with us right now, Father Susay Devadesan, is working on a post-human type of study from a biblical point of view. Most of his writing is on theology-based research. He is looking at post-humanism from a theological point of view. Here, I would like to say about the psychological or philosophical post-humanism or sociological post-humanism. The young scholars and students here think about this as a new area. And right now, the group called the Non-Human Rights Project. They all fight for the rights of the machines. They all speak about the rights of the machines. Look at here. Who is this? Can you please respond to me in the chat box? dear colleagues, participants,
அப்படியா? ஓகே 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 சார். டாக்டர் தமிழ்மணி சார். சார், டாக்டர் தமிழ்மணி சார்.
I'm extremely sorry, friends, because of the network, I got disconnected. I hope you are all staying tuned, and let me continue with my presentation. Hope, friends, you are able to see my screen. Please pin that screen again. Is it okay? Is the screen visible
Yes,
now?
visible, sir. Visible, sir.
Okay, sir. Let me continue with the slide that I stopped. The person that you have seen is not a human being, it is a humanoid. The humanoid was given citizenship, and it was considered to be a breakthrough in artificial intelligence. No, it was not a breakthrough. It was a kind of a puppet. It was a big doll then. It was a kind of big doll, but slowly we started speaking about the other things. Now there is a kind of worry. The worry that catches up everybody in the world is right now there is a kind of debate. Sophia, it provoked a kind of a sensation among the intellectual people. There will be a time, maybe in 2021 or in 22, the robots will claim their rights. There will be a kind of movement for them. So now they are the products of post-humanism. There is a kind of production now. There are a lot of humanoids around. In a developed country, humanoids started teaching. They have assumed the role of a teacher. And there may be a time, yes, instead of human natural intelligence, the world is resorting to artificial intelligence. But artificial intelligence at a greater level, slowly, certain things are going to be incomprehensible or beyond our limit in artificial intelligence. Though it is man-made, though it is done by human beings, there is a kind of alarm, there is a kind of warning given by even the scientists themselves, information technology scientists themselves. There is a story in Post-Humanism, very popular story, written by A.S. Bayat. The title of the story is A Stone Woman. In Stone Woman, there is a character, and the main character is Ines. Ines has nothing but grieving over the death of her mother. She doesn't have any significant other. She works mainly from home. The only thing in her life is grief. Postmodern condition is full of grief. So the story goes like this. She begins to slowly to turn to a stone. It's happening very slowly. I hope you have noticed in the first slide. Slowly, her head is becoming stone, and she is going to be a complete stone one day. Before that, she would like to find a place where she can go and stand like a living statue. So she preferred to go to a cemetery where a lot of people come, and she derives some kind of satisfaction. So she has chosen to be there in the cemetery, and in the cemetery, she became a complete stone one day. This is an example of post-human shows that metamorphosis. She realizes certain things. All these statues there were once being living beings, like you and me. When they were all living, there were a lot of forces inside. All that forces were dancing within the living things. When they were walking, when they were talking, all that were now changed. At the end of the story, the stone woman had all the chaos and energy of human existence. All these chaos and energy of human existence against the unday. So like any other literature of the Renaissance or literature of the modern period or literature of the Chaucerian period, grief and light. They are wrapped up together in the post-human story. And this is the ultimate end, the ultimate truth that you can read for yourself. I'll pass on to the next new direction. Before that is dead during this post-humanist period. We face an era in which we have to come to terms with recognizing ourselves merely systems, integrated systems. It is a kind of coexistence that you and me should embark on. We are not separate entity in the world. It is not the sole privilege of the human beings. That is the idea. Post-humanism propagates that idea. Human supremacy is dead. It is put on full stop. Think of coronavirus. This coronavirus has taught the entire humanity a great lesson. We are unable to come out of the grips of corona. I am not exaggerating. Though we are very optimistic about we are going to come out of it in November or December, still, we feel that some other supreme power is there, which is controlling us. People started saying nature is healing itself. This coronavirus is not very artificial one. It is created by the nature itself. So let us not go into the debate. Let me complete that task first. Flash fiction. Flash fiction, it came in the year 1980 or 1990. And now the netizens, they have a idea that everything can be Googled. Information is accessible at the click of your mouse. Definitely. They would like to do things in a flash. So this writing is done in a flash. But this writing involves extreme brevity, like the 6-word novel. I go on very fast. There are many names to it. Flash fiction. There are many names. Experimental fiction, anecdote, enigma. Many. Why flash fiction? Because it works out very well. It is very interesting. Good literature. It need not be necessarily long. And we are groping for time. We are in a fast world. You would like to finish everything in a minute. The beginning. This was the text. Sudden fiction came in the year 1986. This is an unexplored area. Take it up. Suppose you are offering a course in creative writing in PhD Arts and Science. Think about introducing a flash fiction in a session of 3 hours or 4 hours. Make all the creative writing course participants to write some flash fiction. Compile them, publish in the name of PhD Arts and Science. It's a good idea. Unexplored area. Development of flash fiction. In 2006, there was a book, and 2007, there was a book, and it is going on right now. And right now in our culture, in Tamil culture, Oru Nimada Kadegal is an offshoot of flash fiction. Some examples, let us see. How many words can be there? 100 words, 1,000 words, 150 words. It must evoke some kind of response. It should have some characters. So in Twitter, it is happening. All fiction requires character. There must be characters also in flash fiction. Characters have little time to be developed. In a general story, for about 1 to 2 pages, all the characters will get themselves shaped. There will be round character or flat character. In flash fiction also characters are there. You will have some examples here. This is an example for flash fiction. You can read for yourself. I hope you have pinned the screen. Microfiction, very good, Shalsudan. Microfiction, very good. Look at, there are very few words. 3 paragraphs. Mary and Robert. So they don't like each other. Mary had a plan, baiting Robert to do what? He would kill her. So it happened in the third para. After killing, Robert could find a note. What was the note? Thank you, Robert. Doctors have given me only 2 months. I hope you rot in prison forever. That's it. Ernie Glensick in Santa Maria, it was written. So what was the powerful idea it conveys here? The interpretation can be written for 1 page or 2 pages. But the story is very, very minimal in nature. There are many other stories. You can have a look at it. Inside Out. They had known each other for a few years. She was nice. He knew she liked him. But she was just average looking. He could not settle for that. One weekend, she asked him to the movies. She was intelligent, funny, easy to be with. After 4 months of dating, she became a stunning beauty. So beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Like our Vijay says, our Dhanush says, palaga palaga, paka paka, like that. She became a stunning beauty, inside out. Beauty is inside. Look at the way in which it is written. There are characters, there is a plot, there is a development, there is a kind of ephibanic moment. Ephibanic moment for the male character, about the beauty of the female character. Look at, there are many more. This is a very popular one written by a very famous writer. Can you please chat in the box? Who is that very famous writer? Very good, very good. Now Lakshmi, you're right. For sale, baby shows never won. Once Hemingway was challenged in 1920s. He was challenged. Can you write a story in a very few words, 6 words, say 6 words? And he accepted the challenge. Very good, sir, Mr. Gujan. He accepted the challenge, and then he did that. He did that by For Sale, Baby Shoes Never Won. It was a very famous story written by him, and it was a very satisfying work according to his own statement, Hemingway's statement. So like this, there are many other examples. It goes like this. I hope you could read and enjoy. I could see a giggle on your face. Anonymous writer. The title of the story is Dinosaur. Okay. This is by Margaret Atwood. Longed for him. Got him. Shit. It goes like this. There are many more stories here. I move on to the third direction, disability studies. There are many people who are in the world moving without a limb or a leg or eyes or some kind of deformity in their body. Many are visually challenged. You may not believe, every 5 minutes a person goes blind. A person goes blind because of the excessive exposure to the screen or some other habit, because of the radiation, because of the emission. I may become blind one day or other. Disability is all along. John Milton, the famous cartoon character Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkinson, Helen Keller, Stephen Hawking, Agatha Christie, many writers. So never ignore somebody with a disability. Why? They may inspire you. They have some other ability. That's why Government of India has a term called Divyang. Divyang, divinely blessed. Don't underestimate them. Disability is a state of mind. Disability is not inability. So you can think about doing some MA project or MPhil dissertation or PhD thesis. These are the words that we come across about disability. some kind of syndrome, some kind of ailment. Some people are stutterer. How is it speller, sir? Speller here means, I don't get, Shanusudan, your question. Spelled, okay. So these people are devalued or marginalized. When you speak of Afro-American literature, when you speak of third world fiction, you always talk about marginalization, subjugation. They are not disabled, they are differently able. Very good. You are right. That is why they are called Divyang, divinely blessed, divinely able, divine human beings. Divyang. These people are discriminated in the society. Many of them, at a particular age, they are subjected to euthanasia, they are exterminated. Some of them are left out. Some of them are left in the orphanage. They were not given proper education. So think about studying about all the disabled characters you have come across so far in your BA and in your MA. List them out. Make a thorough study of the projection of disability in literature all through the years. All through the years. In Tennessee Williams' Glass Menagerie, there is a kind of deformed character. Almost all writers have dealt with some disabled character. In most of the movies, many of our cinema heroes have acted in a disabled character form. Many, like actor Vikram or Surya, many. Disability is around. It is part of us. So it is an undeniable fact. They have equal rights. They have equal rights. Though they are very less in number, they should be given prominence. Like Afro-American studies, like any other study, like gender studies, like queer studies, it is a kind of interdisciplinary field. Yes, suffering from inferiority complex in glass menagerie, but in real life also, majority of the people, they undergo a kind of complex. This kind of inferiority complex is created by the society, you and me. Yes, Dilemma of Virmati in Manju Kapoor's Difficult Daughters, of Mice and Men by Steenbeck. Definitely, there are many more examples. Make a thorough study of all the examples and then make a kind of analytical study or comparative study or down the ages, how disability is done and what is the text, what is the language that make use of. Look at the rhetoric used by Helen Keller. The language used by Helen Keller in 3 days to see is very remarkable. No writer can use words like that. 3 days to see, a very simple autobiographical essay. 3 days to see. Wonder. Definitely Joy Naomi, amazing. Do you think that Helen Keller has lived a life full of suffering? No. It was a life full of success. So keep in your mind, disability is a very greener pasture. You can think about it and you can think about carrying out a study. Look at this very interesting poem. When no one answers, a child sees me, naturally curious. He looks to his mother. Why? The mother says, shh, is her answer. Time passes. We meet again. The child and I smile recalling his curiosity. This time, he is not curious. He is not curious though. He picks up a stone, throwing it in my direction. He yells, get ya, mental. The poetic persona is a mentally retarded person in the eyes of the society, not in the eyes of the individual. He's a sane person. Whereas the world is insane. By the appearance, by the actions, the world has come to a decision that he is a mental. So the mother has taught the child, don't go near him. She is a mental, he is a mental. So that is why the child is picking up a stone and throwing at me, get your mental. So as an adult, as an educated person, teach your fellow beings, teach your sons and daughters. Disability is not a stigma, is not a thing to be prohibited. They are part of our society, they have equal rights. So disability study should be taken as a social study from a sociological point of view. It can be carried out. Disability should be given at the foundation level. It should be included in the school curriculum, in the college curriculum, in the arts curriculum, humanities curriculum, science curriculum. Then disability studies should be interdisciplinary. Interdisciplinary, you can bring in history, philosophy, art together. You can write about people who are doing well in philosophy, art together. Disability study can be taken as a participatory study. You need not separate it. So think about the way in which Helen Keller responded in an interview. Look at the intellectual preparedness of Helen Keller. Particularly look at the second question. What a kind of prediction about India or the world? Look at the second question. Do you think the voice of the people is heard at the polls? This was the question from the interviewer. Look at the answer given by Helen Keller. Helen Keller visited India long back. That was a very different India. No. Look at the answer. I think money talks so loud that the voice of the people is drowned. The voice of the people is unheard, suppressed. Then look at another question. Do you believe in spiritualism is the cause of world troubles? No. I think the world's troubles are caused chiefly by the wrong economic condition, and the only cure for them is social reorganization. Social reorganization is the panacea, is the remedy given by a visionary. But you and me think that Helen Keller is visionless. She was a visionary. And look at the final question. What then is the greatest human affliction? Look at the answer. Boneheadedness. A lot of stupidity around. As a student of literature, as a student of humanities, try to remove that stupidity. That boneheadedness should be eradicated. Should be eradicated. There is again a statement in media. இன்று முழு நாடும் கொரோனாவுடன் போராடி கொண்டிருக்கிறது. இன்று முழு நாடும் கொரோனாவுடன் போராடி கொண்டிருக்கிறது. If you go to the market, if you come across 100 people, there are 50 people wearing the mask, another 50 people don't care. Boneheadedness. They are the carriers. They are the spreaders. That kind of self-discipline is missing. This kind of self-discipline should start from our own disciplines. You and me are the custodians of humanities. Let us do something. I move on to the, please bear with me, Anthropocene, as the very term says, that anthropocentric. We are living in a world which is dominated by human beings. We are at the center and we are damaging the entire world. We are the prime agents of climatic change in the universe. Who can rectify it? One who created it. One who is responsible for it. So that is why people started writing Anthropocene fiction. Right now, there are 150 novels have come up in Anthropocene fiction. It is also called climate fiction. Think about it. This is a new direction. You can think about it. A lot of novels, a lot of fiction have come up. There are fiction about a future, New York 2140, Kim Stanley Robinson. So in this Anthropocene age, what do we see? The impact of a human intervention on the ecosystem, it has been discussed, it has been focused. We have come across so many million years, particularly for about 2.6 million years, we are in this Holocene period. In this Holocene period, right now, we are undergoing this Anthropocene dystopian studies. Yeah, you're right. But this has to be remedied because this is a very dangerous situation. This is an undeniable reality. So the earth is in danger. Ultimately, yes, Saujanya, A Brave New World, it was a kind of prediction given by Aldous Huxley. So the human beings are in a kind of predicament. If you are unable to think about yourself, think about your life, you are in a precarious condition. You are in a predicament. There is no escape. An activist called Adam Drexler talks about this Anthropocene fiction is a kind of writing to save the world. There are many writers. They all talk about the Anthropocene fiction. Environmental studies, this is an offshoot. A focus on decentering the human beings from the prime place. Let us have our place. Let other living things have their place. This is the idea of Anthropocene fiction. Think about these are the fiction already written by Anthropocene fiction writers. And now final thing, Digital Humanities. This is a wonderful thing which is happening right now in many Western universities. I'm embarked on this digital project. A lot of things have been done, but digital, it focuses on an intersection of computational technology and traditional humanities. A lot of traditional humanity texts were taken up for study with the help of technology. So what is the benefit of it? What is the use of digital humanities? We have quicker access. All the resources, all the past texts were now in the form of digital format. Now they are. That is called digitization. But digital humanities, it is an extension. It is an extension of taking a work for an analysis with the help of technology. Digital feminism has come up. Digital transformation of a city or a digital form of teaching have come up. So this is digital humanities. So far untouched, with the help of artificial intelligence, text written by Shakespeare can be taken up for digital humanities study. 2 or 3 texts. All the tragedies can be taken up. It will be a new thing. It is not grinding the same thing. What is the benefit of digital humanities? It enhances teaching as well as learning. There is a lot of possibility. If you can apply for a postdoctoral fellow in an American university on a digital humanities project, you are granted. They look for it. For a general or a traditional type of literary research, you may not be given. Think about applying for a PDF in this line, and then improved collaboration is there. Sitting in India, you can collaborate with a professor in Harvard University or some other university for a literary project, digital humanities literary project. And it produces a lot of public impact. Public can also participate. Those who is not connected with the academic field can also participate in digital humanities. These are the things that I wanted to get across. So far, I have been telling you about the panorama of English studies, and then I tried to sensitize the young teachers here, young students here, to pursue research in the new directions. So far, I have been telling you. Now you can ask me your questions. The house is open. I stop presenting. You can ask me your questions. Dear participants, you can unmute yourself and then you can ask me your questions. If you have some network issue, you can type in the chat box. Open for discussion now. Thank you, Mr. Gujan Saturvedi. Sarna Kalamani, thank you for such a comment. I anticipate some kind of queries, my dear colleagues, participants, friends. Please ask me some questions.
Sir, may I, sir?
Please, sir, please.
May I, sir? May I?
Please, sir, ask me,
Okay,
sir.
Fine, sir. Sir, really, it had been a wonderful time and session with you. And being a person too conservative in literature,
Yes,
kind of a new part, like this Robert Frost poem, The Road Not Taken. Actually, The Road Taken. But at the same time, I have one or two things to say, which is absolutely personal. I'll give that in the form of chat box. Please do read it.
Okay. Oh, it is there in the chat box. Okay, sir. Let me read it, sir. Yeah. Any book on literature should withstand the passage of time, should be able to instill sensibility with a universal quality. When we deviate more, latest technicalities become modern predators. Emphasis on this may deprive the literature. Definitely, sir. Let us not compromise with power and the quality aspects of it. But this has become a kind of tool or enabler. Digital humanities is a kind of tool or enabler. Certain people have a flair for it, and then they can pursue in that line. There are people who are very conscious about good old things and the qualities and the merits of the good old things. Let us stick on to that. There will be a section of people who may be interested in Anthropocene Fiction, who is very conscious about climate condition. They can think about that, definitely. So there are different strata, and they can concentrate on different things. There must be variety. As you said, the panorama, wider scope. Literature provides a lot of scope. So let us choose one thing without compromising the quality, the essence. As you said, the essence should not be compromised. Right, sir?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thanks. I am with you, sir. I agree with you, sir. There is no compromise of quality. Dear participants, you can ask me your questions. One question you should not ask me even after your. So thank you for all the compliments, dear friends. Jai Naomi, definitely I am a very passionate teacher. So that's why my presentation is very passionate. Thank you, Surabhi. Thank you, Gayatri. Thank you, everybody. Yes, ma'am. Bhagalakshmi Devan, please.
From the YouTube chat, sir, as it is a live stream there.
Okay.
Asked, sir, could you please tell me about microfiction writers from India?
Microfiction writers from India. There are no prominent writers right now, ma'am, because we are not well connected with the journals in the Hindi region. Or in our writing, there are many, umpteen number of writers writing, as I told you in my presentation, in Ananda Vigadan or in Kumudam or even in some of the popular dailies also. So in some corner or other, this microfiction are coming up. A space is provided to the writers as a kind of ventilation, and in blogging also. So many writers, not any prominent writer to mention as such. I will do one thing, Ms. Magalakshmi ma'am. I will search for it and then I will definitely update you. Let us pass the information to that individual. I have not expected this, but in all the regions, in Telugu or in Kannada, everywhere people started writing. As such, very beautiful things, very impressive or inspiring things are shared in the WhatsApp or in the Twitter, but not, as such, prominent list of writers have been so far found out.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am. Yes,
thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, Dr. Tamilmani, sir. I'm Rafi.
Yes, sir, Professor. Yes, sir, Professor.
Really, it is a very wonderful session.
Thank you,
Just
sir.
now I have seen you and also your digital humanities fiction. These are all the very new avenues for the researchers to make use of it. Really, it's a very wonderful one, and also I feel very proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I feel proud, sir. I am a Jamalian, you are a Jamalian. Thank you for all the compliments, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I think there is a question by Ms. Lakshmi there. Is flash fiction a threat? It cannot be taken as a threat. It can be taken as an opportunity to explore the creative pursuit. You can motivate the young students to think in a very creative way. Writing crisply is a very difficult thing. You can write for pages. But if you want to write in a very few words, then it is a very challenging. Then you may have to go for a revision and revision and revision. Then you can compromise no, now this is readable. Now it is appealing. It has a message to convey. It has a moral to convey. So you can mold them. It is not a threat. It is an opportunity. As said by Professor Ilamaran sir, let us not compromise with the quality. That literalness, that the purpose, that moral standpoint should be there. There was another question. Some people are not. Yes, sir. Professor Ilamaran sir, I would like to say.
Yes, sir. What I feel is there are a lot of divergent divisions and branches in the field of literature. But here, as we progress towards the 21st century, we have already crossed it. This kind of a session, for example, a webinar, where when we have a couple of intrusions or when we have a couple of distractions, we struggle to overcome this kind of a miniature hinge. And these technicalities, when we find this, I do not know how far our young learners may place themselves in a way to face and hurdle, like it was called this diaspam and this disability studies or environmental crisis. They should have an exposure, maybe right from the beginning itself, possibly. Having done a paper, having done literature up to post-graduation, when we have a sudden deflex or a deflection, as I think Professor Ramasamy would say, a sudden deflection may make them to feel a bit slightly pinched. That's what I had.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, everybody has a right to put forth our perspective and our standpoints, sir. Till we justify our stand and our own views, it is accepted. That is how we make our research pursuits different.
Exactly.
There are so many. Yes, sir. There are so many work done on research work done on a particular writer, but everybody has a different point of view. Everybody has his or her own view to tell about that particular fiction. Shakespeare has been explored by many researchers, but still there are avenues. I agree with you, Professor.
Thank you.
Yes. Research in the writing of comic. What do you think about that? I don't get the full question. Let me read it. Some people are now talking about research in the writing of comic books. Yes, sir. You can write do research in the comic. Children literature is gaining momentum, and in the comic books also you can explore. But one thing. What is your contribution? What is your contribution? What is the uniqueness that you would like to touch upon? What is the vision that you have found out new? Should be highlighted. You can bring in something that you can focus on, throw light on, and which can be contributed, which can be a new vision, and which can be used by the entire humanity. Then it is an original contribution. Through your sweat, through your hard working, it can be achieved. Comic books can also be taken into study. Can you tell the dilemma women character in any novel? It has been projected like that. You can think about the dilemma from the storyline and the dealing with. There are so many factors. You have to consider all that factors. And then comic books are being taken up for research. Already answered. Can you tell the dilemma of women character in any novel? In microfiction, in short fiction, there are many. Dilemma is part of the human psyche, particularly in the postmodern condition. It is inevitable. We're all in dilemma, whether to leave or not. Right now is a kind of dilemma. Dilemma is part of us. So in every women character, not only in women character, almost in men character too, all the characters. And as I told you, look for the plot, look for the as to rising up the action of the story, everything matters there. I hope I have answered Saural. Do you come across any postmodern writers in Tamil literature? Yes, this question is very much repeated. Many writers. Take, for example, I have worked on postmodern fiction and a writer called Raymond Carver. In my PhD biography, there was a question. Can you find an equivalent postmodern writer in Tamil with Raymond Carver? I spoke in detail about Asokamitran. Fiction, the language is simple. The stories deal with blue-collar workers, ordinary people. In Asokamitran stories, a lot of ordinary people, ordinary situation. A slice of life is portrayed. Anything on a slice of life. Through that slice of life, suppose he is coming out with a very wonderful, thoughtful, innovative idea, then he's a postmodern writer. The movies you and me come across are all a slice of life. For example, Kaka Muttai movie or Pizza, any movie. Just a slice of life, through that slice of life, they convey a profound message. I hope I have answered. Mr. Ramesh. Shanu Sudan, sir, in the realm of ELT, any new directions? Definitely there are many new directions. As I told you, in digital humanities, you can take up some kind of analytical study. Word analysis, you can take it up. In ELT, a lot of scope for assessment. The calls which are happening in India at UG level, PG level, PhD level has to be revamped, has to be reformed. Assessment protocols. There must be learner-friendly, student-friendly, at the same time, very effective assessment protocols that should come up in India. You can think about that, Shana Sudan. Yes, please go ahead. Dear participants. I admit that for one or two aspects, I couldn't deal with disability studies and Anthropocene fiction for want of time. It is a very lame excuse. Still, I feel that I should make this excuse for want of time. So much has been prepared and delivered. I'm taking it back. I'm sorry. Thank you, Mr. Ramesh.
Sir,
any other questions?
Sir, shall you wind up, sir?
Yes, sir. If there are no questions, sir, please go ahead, sir. So I would like to thank you, sir, profusely for this wonderful opportunity, sir. Professor Ilamaran, sir, and Professor Vanida, and Professor Mahalakshmi, and Mr. Palichami, my friend. Thank you all for this wonderful opportunity. I came there to PSG, but at that time you promised me to invite me. But this webinar is a kind of definitely a very, very nice platform and a very enlightening one, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
We will meet again, sir. We'll meet again.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, madam, please.
Okay, sir. As the words of Shakespeare go, it is always difficult to heave our heart to our mouth, especially when it comes to Thanksgiving. But still, I express my deep sense of gratitude to the management and the principal of PSG College of Arts and Science for granting us permission to pursue our academic dreams. Thank you, ma'am. And we are happy to express our gratitude to our head of the department, Dr. P. Ilamaran, for his constant support. Thank you, sir. We feel honored to express our gratitude to our resource person, Dr. Tamilmani, Dean Academic Affairs and Head of the Department of English, Nehru Memorial College, Puttanamatti, Trichy. So thank you, sir. You did sensitize the young learners, and it will definitely have a reverberation. We also extend our thanks to Dr. Muhammad Rafi for finding time to be with us today. Thank you, sir. Any program cannot happen overnight, and there are always some unsung heroes who work day in and day out to make that happen. I take immense pleasure in thanking my colleagues for making this webinar happen. Thank you, friends. Participants, thank you so much for your patience, and thank you so much for being a part of our webinar. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, participants. Thank you all. See you later. See you next time.
Welcome.